Kevin McNamee is in L.A. Kevin, you're on the Larry Otis Show. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Larry, for having me. You're right on target with your comments about education. Thank you for bringing this forward.
Well, it's my pleasure. I know you've been working very hard to make sure that the money follows the child rather than the other way around. Tell us about it.
The Children's Educational Act is a 2026 statewide amendment to the Constitution of California that will allow the funds that we are currently sending to our public school, gives the parents the option to open up an education savings account for that child. Instead of the money going to the public school, now it goes into the child's education savings account, which is $17,000 per year, which opens up the same education options as students from wealthy families. So those low-income, moderate-income families that are struggling just to get by, now they have all the same choices. My question always is, why should the students from wealthy families have all the options, including homeschool, faith-based school, and private school? This should be open to everyone. And if you look at our test scores coming back for our public students in public school students in California, 72% of our California 11th graders can't do math. 44% of our 11th graders can't read or read proficiently. Larry, it's no wonder. The best they can do is a minimum wage, dead-end job, and no upward climb. This is what leads to crime, increased prison population, and continues the cycle of poverty. We need to end it with the Children's Educational Opportunity Act, my friend.
You know, Kevin, there are think tanks on the left like the Brookings Institution and think tanks on the right like the American Enterprise Institution. And they both basically say the same thing one must do in order to escape poverty. First step, finish high school, presumably one where you can read, write, and compute at grade level. That's step number one. Both sides say that. And here we have a whole bunch of schools in America, K through 12, in the inner city, whether Baltimore, Cleveland, Detroit, L.A., where the kids cannot read or do math at grade level. Even those who graduate often cannot. The schools are pathetic, and you know that because the teachers with school-age kids aren't putting their own kids in the very schools where they teach.
When I talk with public school teachers about this initiative, their first comment is, I'm going to lose my job. Students are going to leave. And I respond back to them and say, you now have admitted that you are failing these students and the parents aren't happy, because if you were doing a stellar job teaching our students and they were all very happy, having great careers, you would say we don't need this initiative because they're not going to leave the public school. So you have now admitted that you're failing our students in California.
You know, Kevin, polls show that urban parents, black and brown parents, want this. The Democratic Party, the party that purports to care about black and brown people, are adamantly opposed to it because of the teachers union.
I just spoke this last weekend at a church in North Hollywood about 200 Hispanic parents. All of them speak Spanish. My Spanish is terrible. I had to have a translator. When I outlined this initiative of $17,000 per year for the parents to select the best school for their kid, as well as all that money that's not used rolls over year after year, whatever's there at the end of 12th grade could be used for trade tech, community college, university, post-grad, and it could be transferred between family members. They all were excited. The low-income, moderate-income parents of color, brown and black, are the most angry at our public school system because their children are trapped in a poor education, leading to a poor-paying job, and that continues the cycle of poverty, my friend.
I have a number of pretty affluent friends who live in L.A. proper. I live in L.A. proper. Not a single one of my friends has a son or daughter in a public school beyond elementary. There are several elementary schools in L.A. that are very, very good. Beyond that, not a single one has his or her kid in a public school, in middle school, or in high school. Not one.
Why don't they pull down the mirror and take a look at their own actions, and why don't you let that happen for the low-income and moderate-income families and those students so they have a possibility at the affluence that America can offer through affluence. Now, I need 1 million signatures. We're launching signature gathering for this initiative this October, and we need 6 months to collect 1 million signatures to get it on the ballot for 2026. The California Policy Center has already done a survey and found 72% of voters want this initiative. They want it to pass. 72%, Larry, and that goes across racial lines and political lines because we're dealing with our children. So I need all your listeners to register to sign the initiative go to educationopportunity.org, educationopportunity.org. On the homepage, fill out the form, name, email, phone number, and we will email you initiative in October when we launch signature gathering, Larry.